Okay, welcome. Our mission today is a deep dive into Benjamin Graham, really the acknowledged father of value investing.
That's right. And before you even get to his ideas, you kind of have to understand where he came from. His philosophy was really forged by some pretty severe financial trauma.
Right. Didn't he lose family money early on?
Yeah, first in the 1907 bank panic, lost family savings there, and then got nearly wiped out again in the 1929 crash. I mean, those experiences,
Yeah.
they stick with you.
Absolutely. It explains why his focus became so defensive, wouldn't you say?
Totally. It cemented it. His absolute top priority became avoiding catastrophic loss. It wasn't just about making money. It was about not losing everything.
And that perspective gave us his foundational books.
Exactly. Security Analysis in 34, that's the big, dense one for professionals. And then The Intelligent Investor in 49, which is maybe more famous. It really zeroes in on the mindset, the behavior needed.
So let's unpack that core philosophy. You could maybe call it his immutable trinity.
Yeah, good way to put it. The first pillar is just this fundamental split, value versus price.
Okay. Intrinsic value.
Right. What a business is actually worth, based on objective facts, assets, earnings, that sort of thing.
Compared to market price, which, let's be honest, can be all over the place. Driven by emotion, headlines.
Precisely. The price swings wildly, often completely detached from that underlying intrinsic value. And spotting that gap, that's the opportunity.
Which leads directly to the margin of safety, doesn't it?
The cornerstone, Mal-Hess, margin of safety. It simply means buying something for significantly less than you estimate it's truly worth.
Like buying a dollar for 50 cents. That classic Graham analogy.
That's the ideal, yeah. It builds in a buffer. So even if your valuation isn't perfect, and let's face it, it rarely is, you're protected on the downside. And it boosts your potential return if you are right.
So that handles the numbers side. But Graham was just as focused on the psychology.
Maybe even more so. Which brings us to the next pillar, controlling your own behavior. And his best tool for that, the Mr. Market parable.
Ah, Mr. Market. Your hypothetical business partner.
Exactly. He's manic depressive. Some days he shows up terrified, offering to sell you his share of the business for way less than it's worth. Other days he's euphoric, wanting to buy your share at a crazy high price.
And the key is, don't get sucked into his mood swings.
Don't. You have to stay detached. Treat him like the servant, not the master. Use his irrationality. Buy from him when he's depressed. Consider selling to him when he's overly optimistic.
Easier said than done, I imagine, especially during a panic or a bubble.
Oh, it's the hardest part. It requires discipline, patience, temperament, not necessarily brilliance.
Did he work in practice, though? For Graham himself?
Well, look at the Graham-Newman Corporation, his investment firm. From 36 to 56, they pulled roughly 20% annualized returns, the market over that time, about 12.2%. So yes.
Pretty strong.
That's significant outperformance.
It is. But here's where the story gets even more interesting and shows how even Graham's ideas evolved. His single biggest win, by far, came from Geico.
Geico, the insurance company. Yep. Made something like 562 times his initial investment. Just a monster return.
Wow. But wait, how did that fit his model? Wasn't he about buying statistically cheap, unloved stocks?
Exactly. That's the twist. Geico actually violated some of his core diversification rules. And critically, it wasn't a deep value play based purely on assets. It was a high-growth company.
So it required faith in its future potential, not just its current balance sheet.
Right. It showed that even Graham, the ultimate quant, recognized the power of a truly outstanding business, even if it wasn't dirt cheap by his strictest metrics. It sort of foreshadowed.
Warren Buffett.
Precisely. Buffett, his most famous student, along with Charlie Munger, took that lesson. They shifted the focus. It became less about any old cigar butt for a final puff and more towards a wonderful company at a fair price. Quality and long-term compounding became paramount.
Okay, so bringing this all together for the listener, how should you think about applying Graham today?
Well, Graham himself divided investors into two camps. The defensive or passive investor. Their goal is just adequate returns, avoiding serious mistakes, minimal effort.
And the enterprising or active investor, that's someone willing to put in the serious time, skill, and effort to try and beat the market.
But he set the bar for being truly enterprising incredibly high. It's practically a full-time job requiring exceptional skill and temperament.
Which leads to his most, perhaps, overlooked advice for most people.
Yeah, his most pragmatic point, really. For the vast majority of individuals who don't have that time or maybe that specific skill set or emotional control, the defensive approach is the most logical.
Meaning? Just accept market returns.
Pretty much. Use low-cost index funds. Avoid the big errors. That, for Graham, was the intelligent path for most people.
So the challenge then is knowing yourself.
Absolutely. The specific formulas, the quantitative screens Graham used, they need adapting for today's economy, no doubt. But the behavioral side, dealing with Mr. Market, that's timeless.
The enduring question for you is, which type of investor are you, really? And do you truly have the temperament Graham identified as essential?